Right, hello and welcome back to the Srad restoration. I thought I'd take this opportunity to firstly thank everybody that's subscribed to the channel and thank you for all the likes I've been getting. But also, I'd like to point out this series of videos, this is like a very amateur backyard restoration. It's not like I see a lot of these videos on the internet where they're quite professional. They have proper spray roofs, they have proper, they spend a lot of money on doing it. Where this one is for like people like me and you really. I mean, so far on this restoration, to be fair, I could put the fairings back on now and this would be quite a nice functioning bike. And I've only spent about £40, if that. So you need to bear that in mind when you're watching these videos. It's actually been done on a budget. It's like a sort of budget bike restoration. But I say hopefully at the end when you see, it'll turn out really nice. Anyway, that was me just saying thank you for the people that do keep regularly tuning in. Like I said, today's video is going to be, I'm actually going to sort the forks out. On a previous video I tried to spray them with the matte black spray paint, but because it was like one of the first spray jobs I ever did, I didn't prep it correctly, I didn't primer it, I just put it on and it scratched off really easy. So today I'm a bit more confident, so I'm going to attempt to do it again, but this time I am going to put some Etch primer on. I want to put the matte black back on again because I actually do like that finish. And then I am going to use some wheel lacquer, which I used on the mirrors, which I'll show you the mirrors in a minute. They've come up really nice, and the finish on them, it's starting to harden. It's not even been 24 hours yet with the mirrors, but you give that about 3 days and it'll set rock solid. So that's what it was with the forks. Once I've painted them and lacquered them, I've got some new dust seals for them as well. I've got the protective one so it protects the stanchions from getting like stone chips. So yeah, once they're painted, I'm going to leave them for at least, well, they're going to be left for a couple of weeks because by the time I get the panel sprayed and I've got to order the stickers. See, like that's what I mean with this restoration. The stickers, they're not the original ones, but they're very like them. They're like £63 and then you pay something like £13 postage, so that's what, £76 for the stickers. And then I'm going to get the panel sprayed by my friend. Luckily I've got a friend who's in the trade and he's going to spray all my fairings for £250. Considering this is a cul-de-sac, I've never known so much traffic come past. Anyway, so yeah, he's going to charge me £250, so we're talking about 330. So the whole restoration, oh yeah, the powder coating, I think the whole restoration is going to probably cost about £500. When you consider that I paid £800 for the bike, so we're talking, £1,300 for like essentially a mint looking, 9,000 mile Gsxr. You probably can go and buy them for that sort of price, but most of them are like 30,000 miles and 40,000 miles. They're getting tired. They're not in the best of condition. Anyway, let's get on with this video. I'm gonna go from start to finish. I'm not gonna be that thorough, but I'm gonna cover all the key points, and hopefully you at home will be able to copy. It's going to be so easy to do to tart your forks up to make them look nice and fresh. Anyway, let's crack on. Yeah, here's the mirrors that I just said I'd show. Like, it has got a bit of a mottled effect, but I don't mind it because the mirrors have that sort of effect anyway. But I mean, these have only been drying for, well, I did it about, what, 11 o'clock last night. What is it now? It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning. So they've only been drying for about 12 hours. And they are drying quite, they're actually touch dry now. I say give them another 48 hours. I'll be absolutely rock solid. And I'm well impressed. They look fine, they will, on the bike. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's get on with this, doing the forks. One of the first things you're going to need to do this job is pretty much essential. You're going to need one of these headstock stands. I've actually got two of them. So this one is, this one's spare. I might stick it on Facebook Marketplace if anybody wants to give me 30 quid for it. But no, you need one of them because you need to lift the front end off the floor, because you can imagine the whole forks, the whole front wheel is going to be coming off. So once you've got it off the floor, front end, I will do it in a minute as well. It's best to put the rear paddock stand on as well to just make the bike more stable, because it has a tendency when you just use the front headstock stand, if you do knock it on the side or you put any torque on it, it can fall over. I had that, I did that once with an Aprilia when I was first starting out. Yeah, I was torquing on the wheels and all the weight pulled to one side and the bike fell over. So once you've got it all secure, first thing we need to be doing is take your calipers off. And I mean, mine are already finger loose, so take out the bolts for your calipers. I must say, I'm not going to do this right now, but you know, take your calipers off and then we'll carry on from there. Right, once you've undone the bolts on the calipers, first little tip: some people have trouble getting the calipers off because of the gap between the wheel. What you want to do is if you turn them back and forward like that, it pushes the pistons back in. So if you get it onto the edge, that one just came off. If you do have difficulty getting them off, bring it to the edge and then pull it out, push it in, pull it out, push it in, and it pushes the brake pads apart and pushes the pistons back in, and it comes off a lot easier then. So take them off both sides and then cable tie them up somewhere. I'll find a location where to do it and show you. If you use one of these headstock stands, a good place to cable tie them up is just use the actual stand, cable tie them to here. You can use any colour cable tie, doesn't have to be pink or black. Just joking. Next thing, want to get the front wheel out, but I'm going to secure the back first, get that paddock stand on before we start taking any of the wheels out or anything, because I want to make sure it's 100% stable. So I'll just stick the paddock stand on the back and then we'll carry on. Alright, next thing you need to do is get the wheel out. What you want to do, you want to keep these pinch nuts, these pinch bolts, sorry, tight, so it grips onto this. You want to undo these ones, so undo those these pinch bolts, and then take the bolt off from here. It'll come out this way. Well, I apologise about the camera angle here, it's just a bit tight. But yep, you just keep on doing this, get your spanner on it and keep on doing this nut until it comes all the way out. Just hold the weight. But this is why you have to keep this tight as well, so this one doesn't move. If that starts spinning, the wheel will never come, you know, that will never undo. Never undo. So keep turning that until that comes all the way out. Just support the wheel slightly. And that's it, that's the front wheel off. Once the front wheel's off, or the spindle's out and the wheel's off, undo these two nuts and then push this this sleeve out. People always say put the spindle back in and then like you'll know which way, you know, which parts go where. But with this Gsxr, it's fantastic because it's only a two-part system. You've got the spindle with the spacer is actually part of the spindle. And then this side, you've got this, which is the spacer. So there's only two parts. That goes on one side, that goes on the other. And to be fair, it doesn't matter which way around it goes, really. I don't think it does it. No. I think the forks are exactly the same size. I'm not 100%, but yeah, it's pretty easy to remember. Just remember the nut goes on that side. and that colic thing was on this side. Piece of cake. Right, now we're going to start actually taking the forks out. So first thing you want to do, I'd probably crack these ones first. Under that one, under that one, under that one. Then as you go to under that one, hold the forks because they will slide out and drop to the floor. So undo, 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 and then as you're undoing that one, hold the forks. Right, let's carry on. Well, that's the first fork out. Just do the same on the other side. And that's it, that's the forks out. I just thought, when I was saying just about taking the forks out, it's probably better to undo them two first, that one, and then do that one last. Just to save you back, having to bend down there, so at least you can do it from up here and then a bit easier. And you can do this with the fairings on. Yeah, you don't have to take the fairings off. I mean, you might be a bit tighter to get to the bolts and that, but you don't have to. I've just took one off because they're already off. So, yep, let's. I'm not going to show you taking the other fork out. We'll get on to the next bit, the prepping. Right, what do you regular viewers think comes next? Any guesses? Elbow grease. Yep, just get rid of all the old residue, the old crap that's on it with some elbow grease. I will just add, I don't know if people watched my other videos, but I did mention it in the video earlier, but I did attempt to spray these before. If you see the finish there, like, I mean, it did scratch off really easy. And the reason being is because I didn't use any etch primer. I just put the paint straight onto the metal. Bad idea. It scratched off really easy. So this time I want to go for the etch primer, and I'm actually going to lacquer them, because I didn't lacquer them either last time. I just used the black paint. Stupid idea, I know. Right, let's give them a good clean off with the old elbow grease, and we'll carry on from there. So yeah, when you put the elbow grease on, always leave it for about 2 minutes before you wipe it off. Don't just wipe it straight back off again. Yeah, let it do its business, because it does really dissolve the grease and the grime. It is really good. I say it on every time I use it. Fantastic. Anyway, it gives me a chance to have a quick vape. So we'll leave that 2 minutes. I'll be back. Right, they're all dried off. Wiped them down with like a, you know, with this rag. That got wet, and then I went back with a bone dried rag to make sure I get all the residue of the elbow grease off. I've seen some videos where they say, you know, wiping down with alcohol wipes and all that. It's a lot of rubbish. I mean, if you're going to do a £3,000 restoration and you want a perfect paint job, then yeah, of course, do that. But with these, you know, £800 bike, yeah, as long as it's clean. And I've already roughed them up, because when I sanded the other paint off that was on there before, I mean, you can see, look, it's all scratched. And like I say, I'm going to be using the etch primer anyway, so that etches itself onto the metal. The one thing I'm going to do this time as well, the compression screws, I want to screw them all the way in, because last time I left them out a little bit, but I want to screw them right the way in, so when I do paint them, when I do get to screw them back out, you know, the paint won't be on the actual threads. So, and then I want to mask this off, but I'm only going to mask it off to where the spring is on the dust seal, because like I say, I've got some brand new dust seals, so I ain't really too bothered if I get paint all over these, because once I pop them off, it'll have a nice straight finish where the dust seal was. So let's mask them off and screw those in, and then we get on to the all important getting the paint on. Right, so there we go, all masked off. Screws been screwed in. Next thing I want to do is tie a piece of string. I'm going to come through the bottom, because when you've got the mud guard on, you're not going to actually see this part here. So if there is any like sort of imperfections from like the string being on this part, who cares? Mud guard's on, you ain't going to see it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm a bit worried about today because it's a bit damp out. I am going to spray them outside, And it's not raining, but it has got that like humidity, like dampness in the air, so it could affect the paint. The problem is in here, it's that cramped. I haven't really got anywhere to spray in here without like you getting, you know, like the overspray really covering everything. So I'm gonna risk it. Hopefully it's not too damp. Right, next part in the garden. Let's start getting that etch primer on. Right, here we go. All hung up. I'm hoping these goalposts don't fall down. Seems like there's a bit of extra weight on. Anyway, this is the stuff I'm going to use. Universal Etch Primer. I think the key to getting a nice paint down is super light coats. I've heard other people say it all the time, and then I see people spray and they put it on really thick. When you put it on thick, you're asking for trouble. You're going to get runs, you're going to get like, you know, where the paint starts drooping and looking a bit. So yeah, I know it takes longer, but you get a much better finish. So yeah. What the hell, man? So there we go, first coat of etch primer on. Like I say, very light coat. I'll leave that between about 10 and 15 minutes and then I'll come back and give it the second coat. Right, I've decided to break this video down into two parts. This is going to be part one because you've got to leave this this etch primer for 30 minutes between each coat. So I'm going to give this 2, maybe 3 coats of the etch primer, and then I'm going to have to leave it till tomorrow to get the top coat on. So we'll call this part 1. This is the prepping and undercoat section, and then the part 2, which I'll do tomorrow, will be the top coat and sorry, not the top coat, it'll be the, well yeah, the top coat and the, what's it called? See, it's not called lacquer, is it? It is actually top coat. So yeah, the video tomorrow will be the actual colour and the top coat, and I'll put the new dust the new dust seals on and put them back in the bike. So until tomorrow, thanks for watching, bye.